Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. The name is Harry Cruz and today we will be continuing our playthrough with the City of Thieves, Part 3. Now, there has been a little bit of a delay since Part 2 and I hope this is worth the wait. I was away and I'm hoping to get back into the swing of things with our playthrough. So without further ado though, let's continue our playthrough of the City of Thieves, Game Book 5, Part 3. So, where we left off, we have met the wizard under the bridge, and we will be continuing from here. We've got a few bits and challenges to get across as well. We've reached, I think, the halfway point here now, but I'll read through this page once again. Now, what we've got at the moment for our stats is very, very high. Our stamina points, for instance, is the highest they can possibly be maxed out at 24 out of 24. Our skill is 11 out of 12, and luck 11 out of 12 out of possible 12, but they're all maxed out stats. We've got 8 provisions, we've got potion of fortune, 24 gold pieces, a majestic broadsword given to us by the mayor of the town that we were at, leather armor, shield, backpack, a golden flower, an iron spike, and a climbing rope. So that's our stats, and we've got a lantern, 2 gems, and a ring of invisibility. Now I'm going to read this once again, and we're going to see where the book takes us and see if we can get through it on the first playthrough. The smell by the water edge is terrible. Above you hear the sound of footsteps crossing the wooden bridge. Built into the foundation of the bridge is a wooden hut. Drawn curtains obstruct your view into the small building, but you know that you are not welcome when you read the words "Keep Out" painted on the door in large red letters. You draw in a deep breath and knock on the door. You hear muttering and the shuffling of feet, and suddenly the door is thrown open. Before you stands a white-haired old man with a long beard wearing long white robes. He looks at you sternly and says, "Explain yourself to Nicodemus." You are elated to find Nicodemus and tell him about Zanbar Bone's reign of terror in the town of Silverton, and why Mayor Owen Carolith asks you to find his old friend to help them. Nicodemus frowns and walks back inside the hut, beckoning us to follow him. He sits down in a rocking chair and starts to talk in a calm voice. "I'm an old and tired, and wish for no more adventure. I live here under the singing bridge in Port Blacksand to escape the pleas for aid from people fallen on hard times. Hence no one bothers me. But I do wish to help my old friend Owen. I will tell you how to defeat the Night Prince, Zanbar Bone. Listen carefully." Nicodemus lights his pipe, and after a moment with it in his mouth, his eyes distant in deep thought, he exhales, and billowing blue cloud, and continues. "The Night Prince can only be defeated after sunset. In the daylight hours, he exists on another plane. No doubt he will have servants to protect him. But should you get... Sorry, I can't see the bookmark there. Should you get him, you will need something special to deal with Bone himself. To protect yourself from his enchanting stare, you must have a white unicorn and a yellow sun tattooed on your forehead. Normal weapons will not harm him. First, you must shoot him through the heart with a silver arrow. This will paralyze him, but not kill him. Then you must quickly rub the ground compound of black pearl, hag's hair, and lotus flower in his open eyes. Within luck, he will decay before you in seconds. Whereas if your arrow misses, I'm afraid you will die the moment he touches you." With this, Nicodemus taps out the ash from his pipe onto the bare floorboards. "The items for the compound can be found in Port Blacksand if you search hard enough, but I regret I cannot accompany you." Nicodemus draws you a map of how to reach Zanbar Bone's guarded tower from Port Blacksand. He stands up, shakes your hand, and wishes you well on your quest. Leaving his hut, you climb the steps and cross the bridge over Catfish River. Bridge Street continues north a short distance before ending at a junction. Okay, so this is our first option, around the halfway point I reckon in the book. So we have been given a task on our hands here. So you can see that we have to get, first and foremost, a white unicorn and the yellow sun tattooed on our forehead, a silver arrow in which we have to shoot him through the heart, or paralyze him. Then we need black pearl, hag hair, and lotus flower for the ground compound for us to decay him. So we've actually got 5 items that we need to get, which is going to be quite a challenge. So I'm hoping we've got multiple opportunities to actually find these items, otherwise it'll be a very tough book indeed. I actually think this is the hardest adversary we faced so far in terms of what we require to defeat the book. So, we either go down Harbour Street or Candle Street on the east. So west down Harbour Street, east down Candle Street. I reckon Candle Street. Candle Street sounds nice. And we've got a bookmark here for a reason, because I've got a feeling that from here on out, this half of the book will have the items you require. So we're going to have to be very vigilant, guys. So without further ado, let's see if we can get this done. Okay. On the right side of the street, you see a small alleyway between 2 houses. The alley soon ends at a doorway with 6 skulls painted on it, 1 black and 5 white. Interesting. If you wish to walk down the alley and open this door, turn 27, or if you would rather continue, turn to 139. Now I've got the option here. I think we should go for this option because we won't lose track then of whether we tried at the door or not. And I'm curious, 6 skulls painted, 1 black and 5 white. I wonder why. Very interesting. Let's have a look and see. Ooh, okay. What's this? Ooh. Interesting. Well, here's Candle Street. There's a candle on the table. Very interesting fella. You enter a small candle-lit room with no windows. It is empty apart from a table and 2 chairs. A man wearing black robes and a skull cap is standing in the corner. He smiles and asks you to sit down at the table. He sits opposite you, and after placing 6 white pills on top of 6 skulls on the table, he looks up at you and says, "One of the pills before you is deadly poisonous. The others are harmless. Swallow one of your choice. If you live, I will give you 20 gold pieces. If you die, I will keep all your possessions. If you wish to play this deadly game, which I think we should, 1 out of 6 ain't too bad. Or, if you'd rather leave the room and walk back up the alley to Candle Street, turn to 165, well, there must be a reason as to why we've got to gain gold pieces. Have we got to buy some artifacts? Is that why? Let's play the deadly game, shall we? You agree to the game, but can't quite contain your nervousness. Sweat breaks out on your forehead. You choose a pill and swallow it. Roll 1 die. If you roll between 2 and 6, which we do, I hope that means we're alright. You have chosen a harmless pill. You feel a rush of relief, as well as adrenaline from your win. The man reaches into a pouch on his cord belt and hands you 20 gold pieces, and he bids you farewell. Interesting. I suppose if 1 out of 6 people go in there and die, though, he would probably gain quite a lot of gold from that, so he could probably afford 20 gold pieces, can't he? Interesting. We leave the room and we walk back up the alley to Candle Street. Okay, you leave the house and return to the junction. Oh, okay. So that was just an optional thing, so we're now actually back at where we were. So we can either turn right down Candle Street again, or walk down Harbour Street. Let's try Candle Street again, shall we? Walking along the street, you are suddenly halted by a plant pot smashing on the cobblestones in front of you. You look to the left and see an open window. Inside, voices can be heard arguing. The door to the house is open. You could enter the house to find out what the argument is about, or decide to mind your own business and continue east. So we can either investigate this argument, or just continue east and pretend we hadn't heard it at all. Why? We didn't hear anything. So is there any? So all we hear is voices. We don't see anyone. Let's go investigate. I'm curious. Well, that is really scary looking, that doll in the right hand side. Look at that, like a pin doll. You enter the house and find yourself standing in a room full of toys. Out of all the things, I was not expecting that. But they're not ordinary toys. They are stuffed creatures with nails through their heads, dolls' houses that are made to look as if they are on fire, and many other unpleasant objects. In the middle of the room stand 2 old women dressed as though they were little girls. They are squabbling over a carved wooden duck. Each looks eager to destroy the duck with the knives they are holding. On seeing you, the women both start to shout, "Give us the toys, give us the toys." You may either give them something from your haversack, or leave the strange old lady to continue east. This is like proper freaky. I don't actually like this at all. So you got dolls with like things in. They're acting like children, but they're old ladies, and they're after like they're after toys. Let's give them something, shall we? You sort through your haversack trying to find a suitable item. Should we give them gems? No, I don't want to give them gems. Nothing that we've got, as you can see, there's nothing that strikes me as very toy related. Very interesting. What about a golden flower? The women immediately start arguing again over your gift to them, ignoring you completely. Okay. You look around the room to see a table set for a meal. There are 2 bowls of hot soup on the top of the table waiting to be drunk. If you wish to pick up the wooden spoon and try and drink some of their soup, turn to 68. Why not? The soup tastes absolutely disgusting. If you wish to swallow it, turn to 380, or spit it out, turn to 262. Well, if it would give us this option, it makes me think that if it must be good for you. So let's swallow it. Yeah. Despite its rotten taste, the soup includes herbs blended in an ancient tradition which are beneficial to your health. You gain 4 stamina points. Feeling somewhat revitalised, you decide to leave the ladies to their argument and head east. Okay, good to know. So, crazy old ladies. I don't think we have to give them anything of importance, but we can gain 4 stamina by just giving them an item. Good to know. Eventually, the street comes to a dead end at a high stone wall. There are stone steps leading to the top of the wall. On the other side of the wall, you hear grunts, growls, and cheering. If you wish to climb over this wall, turn to 40, or if you wish to walk back to the junction and head back to Harbour Street, turn to 91. So that's good to know. So this street, apart from climbing over this wall, is supposedly a dead end here. So let's climb over the wall. Let's see what happens. What's this? Some sort of game or something, right? From the top of the wall, you see that it encircles a group of brown creatures playing some kind of game with a wooden stick and a small leather ball. One of the creatures has just hit the ball and is running towards a creature from the other team who has a foot on a cloth bag. You realise that this creature, or creatures even, are bays, playing their favourite game, Bay's Ball. If you wish to join their game, turn to 168, or you can return to the Harbour Street, or go west to return to the junction. Well, let's play, shall we? They seem like a likeable, well, I say likeable set of creatures. Okay, we'll test our skill. Well, that's good. We've got quite good skill. They agree to let you join their game. You have difficulty understanding the bays, but you gather that one of the other team is going to throw the ball at you. You are handed the wooden stick and told that if you hit the ball over the wall, you will win the game for them. You must test your skill. Let's test it. So we've got to roll 11 or under, which we definitely pass the skill check, or definitely even. So we do pass. You hit the ball powerfully in the middle of the bat and watch it soar over the wall. All the bays on your side rush over and slap your hands with theirs. They are overjoyed at your victory. Supporters run over and start handing you gifts. Eventually, you manage to wiggle free from your admirers and find a place to sit down to inspect your gifts. You have been given 8 gold pieces, a bottle containing a clear liquid labelled Potion of Mind Control. Ooh, out of all those, a silver flute, a bunch of bananas, a piece of chalk, and an eye patch. Ooh, very interesting items. You eat the bananas, and we gain 2 stamina points, which was not required, but hey, we played a game, probably a bit hungry. And we place the rest of the items in our backpack. You climb back over the wall before the bays start another game and walk back to the junction and head west along Harbour Street. So we've concluded that Candle Street, there's a guy where you 1 out of 6 you die, but you gain 20 gold pieces. You play this game, and if you succeed, you get all these items that I've just read, and a bunch of crazy old women wanting toys. So yeah, very interesting. So I think we're going on Harbour Street now. You pass a beggar in the street. He is sitting in the gutter, and holds an empty tin in his hand. If you wish to wish, I think that's a mistake on the page there. If you wish to toss a gold piece into his tin, turn to 332. Or if you'd rather walk past him, turn to 124. Well, I'll put a coin in. How many coins have we got? 52. We can put a gold piece in, can't we? The beggar tips his hat in gratitude and mumbles a few words. You gain 1 luck point for continuing west. Excellent, so we're back at 4. Because I think we tested our luck before. So we were at 10. Wonderful. Nice that we were appreciated from that gold piece there. A narrow alleyway runs south off the street between 2 houses. So another alleyway. We can either investigate this alleyway or continue along Harbour Street. I'm always a curious fellow, so let's investigate the alley. Okay. Ahead of the alleyway is strewn with rubbish and discarded possessions. Suddenly, you hear a growling and you see movement amongst the rubbish. You draw your sword just in time as 2 wild dogs, each 1.5 meters long, leap at you, and we must fight. Let's defeat them, shall we? So a quick recap of the rules. Quite a weak very weak enemy in front of us. We've got 4 stamina, 4 skill of the first wild dog. Now, we've got plus 11 on our skill, and they've got plus 4. We roll 2 dice each. Whoever gets the highest total wins. So they actually beat us on the roll here alone, but because of our plus 11, we still thrashed the wild dog quite easily. We've got the option to test our luck too, so to use a luck point to either increase our damage to a roll, or reduce damage given to us if they hit. We've also got the option to escape too, as you can see from that blue button on the right hand corner there. This dog is also incredibly weak. Even with our poor roll of 3, we still tweak and slash the dog. And same with that. So that's why it's important, you see, to roll good skill. I think skills are the most important rolls, period, in this game. We do indeed defeat the beasts. Did you purchase golden flowers from the florist Mrs. Pipe back on Clock Street? We did, but I think we exchanged that, so that's a bit unfortunate. There's nothing to be found in the alleyway, so you return to Harbour Street and turn left. We'll bear that in mind next time. If we do die and we go back to that place, we will not give that golden flower to them. Ahead you hear the noisy clatter of galloping hooves on the cobblestones. You hear the noise of wooden wheels and an urging voice, followed by the crack of a whip. Someone is rapidly approaching in a horse-drawn carriage. Do you wish to stay to see who it is, or would you rather hide out of sight behind the barrel and watch the carriage pass by? Turn to 34. Well, I've got a feeling that if it's galloping, we probably want to get out of the way. We might be able to watch the carriage anyway and see if we can obtain who it is. So I reckon we should hide out of sight. The carriage thunders by and you see its driver urging the 4 horses as though its life depended on it. See, I reckon if we didn't get out of the way, we would have probably been hit. As the noise of the carriage fades into the distance, you step onto the street and continue west. Okay, well, there's some sort of ship now. Interesting. So the only thing we may have missed an opportunity on is that golden flower, but I do not think it would make much difference to the gameplay, because I recall that the golden flower would, the petals, if dipped in blood, would turn to gold coins. So I don't think we would have gained much from that. Maybe we would have had an extra 5 gold pieces perhaps, but I think we may still be in a chance of doing this book successfully. So let's continue. I reckon we should put a bookmark here actually, because this looks like a key page to me. So we've got a ship here, and a funny looking pirate in the right hand side, some sort of lady being spoken to by a lad by the door of that pub there. Very interesting. And a pirate flag on the top of that ship, good to know. The street gradually starts to run downhill. The houses end at a tavern called the Black Lobster, and the streets open out onto the quayside. A stone jetty runs out to sea, and tied to it is an old galleon. It is flying the skull and crossbones, and is probably one of the many pirate ships that to that anchor in Port Blacksand to offload their booty. Harbour Street turns right at the jetty and runs north parallel to the shore as far as you can see. Now, do you wish to board and climb the ship, turn to 399, or if you wish to walk north up Harbour Street, turn to 78? Well, I generally believe that if we walk past the ship, we're probably going to miss an item of significance that we're meant to get at some point. So I think going up the ship is probably the best course of action. That's my opinion on the matter. So let's see. Let's see what happens. A rope ladder hangs down from the stern of the ship to the jetty. There's also a gangplank leading up to the side of the ship. If you wish to board the ship by climbing the rope ladder, walk straight up the gangplank, turn to 294. Oh, okay. To the jetty. Interesting that. I think the rope ladder implies stealth, in my opinion. If you wish to walk straight up the gangplank, it will probably just go straight to the pirates. So, shall we try the rope ladder? Okay. You reach the top of the ladder and peer over the handrail to survey the ship's deck. There are two large masts rising into the air from the deck. Wooden boxes, barrels and coils of rope lie all around, and one of the ship's crew stands on guard at the top of the gangplank. Aha, see, so there was a crew member right on top. In the centre of the deck there is a small cabin with an open door. Through the door you see the stairs leading down to the lower decks. If you wish to inspect any of the wooden boxes and barrels, you have to deal with a pirate on guard, or you could creep alongside the decks to the stairs. Well, straight away I think, if you confront the pirate guard, I've got a feeling that he'll just call for reinforcements. It's a ship after all, there'll be more people. So let's sneak down the stairs. The stairs lead down into the ship's cargo hold. It is empty. Opposite you, a corridor leads from the hold to two closed doors. You walk along the corridor and listen at the doors. From the door on your left you hear loud snoring. From the door on the right you hear absolutely nothing. Well, let's go left. If it snores, we'll kind of see what happens, shall we? Oh, okay, this is the bunk room. Really comfy in there. Look at that poor bloke at the bottom. Gosh. Asleep in their bunk are three pirates. Their room is small, containing only clothing and a few personal possessions. It looks as if the pirates have been drinking and gambling. There is an uncorked bottle of rum, a mug, and a pack of cards on top of a barrel in the centre of the room. You notice that one of the pirates is wearing a small leather pouch around his neck. Do you wish to creep up and try and cut it loose? We've got high skill, as you can see here, so I've got a feeling that it might be worth us doing it if we've got to test our skill level or test our luck, which we do have to test our luck. You edge forward, trying to sneak close enough to the pirate to rob them without any of them waking up. Which we are, in fact, lucky, because we rolled 11 or below. And we gain 2 luck points from the experience. Excellent. So you manage to cut the pouch loose without waking any of the pirates. You tiptoe quietly out the room and close the door. In the corridor you open the pouch and find 6 black pearls. We gain 2 luck points. If you haven't already done so, you may open the right hand door, which I think, why not? We're here, aren't we? And I reckon there's an item in here somewhere too. Or we can leave the ship and continue. We'll search Port Blacksand, but let's go in the right hand door, shall we? The door opens into a small room, in the centre of which stands a steaming hot tub of water. You could hide behind the door inside the room to see who is about to take bath, or you could allow whoever this is their privacy. You could either stay and find out whose bath this is, or would you rather close the door? Let's stay, shall we? Okay. Because I think we've got to do something to gain an item here. After a few minutes, you hear footsteps coming down the corridor. The door opens and a man walks into the room wearing nothing but a towel around his fat stomach. You watch as he drops the towel and lowers himself gently into the tub with a loud sigh. You could surprise him by drawing your sword and uttering a loud ahem, Or you could creep out of the room, back into the corridor before he notices you. Well, we're here to confront him, aren't we? That's why we stayed. Let's confront him. You tell the word Bather that, despite your hatred for Pirate, you will not harm him if he cooperates with you. You ask him if he has any of the items you are searching for, but he replies that a captain of a pirate ship, he does not need such things. So he's the captain. Explains a lot. He's got a hot tub. You press the blade of your sword against his fat neck to make sure he is not lying. He looks terrified and assures you that he is telling the truth. Then he says, but I do know where you can get a silver arrow. Ben Borryman, the silversmith, will make you anything in silver at a price. You will find him in Clog Street. Making a mental note of the information, you leave the shivering captain alone in his room. Locking the door behind you, you may now take a look in the left-hand room or leave the ship and return to Harbour Street. Well, we've already done the left-hand room, so let's continue. And that was a good bit of information we got then, and we got some black pearls as well. Aha, okay, so the street runs north along the quayside for a few meters before arriving at a junction. Now this is important here. Let's save it here, because I think that ship was a good call for us. We can either go down Clog Street right now, on the second option there, and continue east, or we can continue north up Harbour Street. But we were just told that the silver arrow is a requirement, after all, from the wizard, Nicodemus, and the pirate captain told us that this blacksmith is down Clog Street. It just depends whether we've got another opportunity to visit Clog Street, which I'm not sure we do. So, let's go down Clog Street. Clog Street is very narrow and lined with terraced cottages and the occasional shop. To your left, you see what looks like a small boy lying face down on the cobblestones, groaning loudly. A hood is pulled over his head and you cannot see his face. A wooden hoop and stick lie by his side. If you wish to stop and help, or rather walk on, turn to 317. A hood is pulled over his head. That does sound a bit shady, not gonna lie. But us as a character, we want to help people, you know? This is our job, this is our mission. We're here to help the village, right? Defeat Zanbar Bone, Necromancer. We've got to help these people, you know? Ah. My gut. I should have followed my gut instinct there. As you bend down to help the injured boy, he suddenly rolls over and you see the flashing blade of a dagger before your eyes. The boy is in fact a goblin thief, and you must fight for your life. He is strong, but not a good fighter. Let's fight him. Not very strong, but he's quite skillful. 5 skill, 4 stamina, but again, no match for us. 1 more hit should do it. And yes, he had higher roll, but no, same roll actually. But we are triumphant to quite easily dispatch the goblin. We get 2 old gold pieces, a clove of garlic out of all things, and some old knuckle bones. You add these items to your pack and head east along Clog Street. One of the shops to your left is a candle maker's. There are many different coloured candles burning in the window. If you wish to enter the shop, turn to 241 or continue east. Let's enter the shop, shall we? Inside the shop, you see a tall, thin man with pointed ears and fair hair, pouring hot wax from an iron pan into a mould. The candle maker is an elf. As he turns to you to speak, you notice his eyes, which are ice blue. For some reason, they appear very cold to you. He tells you that each of his coloured candles costs 1 gold piece each. You may buy as many as you wish. He then asks you if you'd like to see one of his magic candles in the back room. Well, I just think that's completely suspect. Why would you have your prized possession in the back if it isn't going to be a trap of some sort? Unless, I suppose there are thieves here. It is a city of thieves after all. So maybe that's why the merchandise is at the back, the most expensive stuff. But I reckon we'll just gain a candle. We'll just get a candle. We only need 1 candle, right? 1 candle should be enough. Let's leave the shop and head east, shall we? I don't think we should want to see one. Nah. Aha, here we are. Further along the street, on the left, is another shop. A sign that reads Ben Borryman Silversmith. And I think we're going to enter the shop. We want the silver arrow, don't we? A man wearing a white apron is sitting at a bench, busily polishing a silver goblet. There are several silver objects in a glass cupboard, secured by an iron grill in the back of his shop. What would we like to do in the store then, guys? We can either talk to the silversmith, attack him, out of all things, with our sword, or leave the shop to continue east. Well, if we've got to have a silver arrow prepared, I generally believe that we probably want to talk to him and not just like attack him. You ask Ben Borryman if he has any silver arrows for sale. He replies that he does not, but will make you one for the cost of 10 gold pieces. Well, we've got plenty of gold, we've got 52, so we'll definitely ask him. We can afford it. You pay the silversmith and wait patiently while he makes a silver arrow for us. Finally, he presents you with it and assures you that it will be completely accurate in flight. You thank him for his trouble and leave his shop. Outside, you set off east once again. Okay, so we're at the junction now. Let's save it here. And I think we're going to end the video here, guys. We can either go north into Tower Street or east to Stable Street. But that choice will be for next time to decide. I hope you've enjoyed part 3 of the City of Thieves. I'll be making a few more videos very soon to make up for my absence of the past couple of weeks of videos. So please keep in touch, keep on track with the videos and stuff. I've got plenty more to come as well. I'm hoping to make some videos on the House of the Dragon coming up in August, which I'm very excited for. I'm also looking to do more videos on motivational speeches and stuff as well, and obviously more Fighting Fantasy game book stuff too. So keep on track with that. Hope you've enjoyed this playthrough, hope you've enjoyed me reading it through, and I hope this inspires you to read the books in person too, or get it on the app here. But yeah, take care of yourselves, thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you all very, very soon. Take care, bye.